So the NLP Meta Model has three categories: distortions, generalizations, and deletions. And using the acrostic MLCCP NUS, it helps us memorize it. And so in the first category, distortions, we get mind reading, loss performative, cause and effect, complex equivalence, and presuppositions. In the second category of generalizations, we get universal quantifiers and modal operators. And then a category of deletions, we get nominalisations, unspecified verbs, and simple deletions. Okay, so far we've covered mind reads and loss performative. In this session, we look at cause and effect. And this is where I think the meta model really starts to get interesting. A cause and effect meta model violation is based upon the belief that A causes B, when in fact there may be no factual evidence to support that belief. In the context of linguistics, a cause is wrongly put outside of self. The belief is that something occurs in the world that makes you think or feel a certain way or makes you do something. It's like an event in the world causes you to feel, think, or do B. But we're the meaning makers. That is, no one can make you feel a certain way. No one can make you angry. No one can make you fat. No one can make you think a particular way or act in a particular way. That's putting aside the context of torture or indoctrination. So beliefs about cause and effects are sometimes used inappropriately in the medical field, in my opinion. For example, a virus is said to cause a specific illness, yet when the data is analysed, we find that only a percentage of people who test positive for the virus actually develop the illness. It would be more fair to say that an illness may be associated with the virus when certain conditions are present. A cause and effect linguistic pattern is recognised by the use of words such as makes, because, if then, as then, since. So you gather more information about a cause and effect by asking how specifically, and use counterexample type questions to learn how the person does the process of making themselves feel and act in a particular way. So we start with the example, you make me angry when you talk like that. So we challenge the cause and effect by asking, how specifically does what I am doing make you angry? If I pulled a face, would that make you laugh? So notice how we repeat the word make. In our next example, the speaker says, if the share prices drop, then I will be disappointed. So we could reply by saying, how do you do the process of disappointing yourself? When you hear the word then, you could also treat it as a complex equivalence in that A equals B. In that case, the response could be, since when does a drop in share prices mean that you should feel disappointed? What other response could you have? So either way, we're directing the speaker to take responsibility for their state of mind. And another example, eating fat will make you fat. We could challenge that statement by saying, what type of fat specifically will make you fat? How much fat? And then we could use a counterexample and ask, do you know anyone who can eat a lot of fat yet not put on weight? In our next example, if you exercise, then you will lose weight. We could challenge that by saying, how do you know that to be true? Are there other variables in weight management that are maybe more important than exercise? And then we could use a counterexample and ask, have you met anyone who exercised yet gained weight? And a couple of examples from the very first video in this series on the meta model. A fat feminist on a talk show said, the thin culture makes women eat more and get fat. So we might ask, well, how specifically does the thin culture make women eat more and get fat? And we could also challenge thin culture, which is a normalization, and ask, What specifically is the thin culture? And another example, if you believe in equality, then you are a feminist. We could challenge that cause and effect by saying, since when does a belief in equality make someone a feminist? We could also challenge the generalization on equality and ask, is that all that feminism about? Equality. And our last example, a Muslim man said, democracy caused the suicide bomber to blow himself up in a car in the city of Stockholm. The key word is caused. So we ask, how specifically did the nominalisation democracy cause the man to blow himself up? So here we begin the process of finding out what the man means by democracy and how an abstraction can make you do something. You could also use a cause and effect to influence another person. For example, just thinking about the beach makes you want to get outside and exercise. Studying these meta model examples makes you want to learn more about NLP. Hearing the example of the Muslim man who said that democracy caused the suicide bomber to blow himself up makes you want to make posts on Facebook and educate people in the use of the meta model. So in our next video, we play with complex equivalence. And as I said before, knowing how to recognize cause and effect and complex equivalence is essential to resolving conflict in the world. So if you've not yet seen the meta model memes that I post on Facebook, then I encourage you to look out for them and participate in the discussion. This is a real fun way for you to not only learn the meta model, but also to put into practice and invite others into the discussion. Make sure that you comment on every post that I make and share them with your friends just to see what answers they come up with. And the next video you will learn how to recognize and challenge a complex equivalence. So I'll see you there.